It's time for another Dice Tower review with the Chief, Bart Brunscheen.
Hey, it's the Chief from the Dice Tower, and I'm going to be talking about Mage Wars. Now, Mage Wars came out, I think it was maybe even 3 years ago, at least 2 years ago. So I know I'm very, very late to the party. And I'm going to spoil it a little bit. I was amazed by what this game did. Now, first, it is strategic mage to mage combat, but you're also usually bringing out creatures and different things, so there can be a lot of stuff going on the board. The board's huge. I've got it kind of out in front of me here, and I would almost call this a D&D mage simulation. And I'm coming from a war game perspective. A lot of times people think simulations can be boring or there's too much minutia. This is a mage simulation that is intuitive. It is exciting. It's fantastic. The art is gorgeous. And at the same time, it pulls off a very tactical feel. So from a war game perspective, which is a lot of the games I review, I'm going to tell you, if you're a war gamer, you may want to take a look at this if you've kind of let it slide on by because it was a fantasy theme. This game has amazed me. We're going to talk, and I go in and we do a little bit of closer looks, but the game is it's not really a deck building game because you have a point system. Let's just say you got 100 points, kind of like when you're bidding in for a type of army you want to make or something. And, you know, if you're going to load in a bunch of tanks, you're not going to have much infantry support. Here, you get to pick these cards that are going to go into these card sleeves, and every card you buy is available for you. You can use it whenever you want. You just have to, to fuel it, you got to have what they call mana. So, but the ability to deck build, but you're never really waiting on a certain card to come up. If you want to sling a fireball, pull the fireball out. As long as you've got enough mana energy stored up, you'll be able to shoot it. So let's go in and I'll show you a little bit of this stuff before I ramble too much more, and then we'll come on back and I'll really gush. By the way, designer's Brian Pope. And it's Arcane. I always mess it up, guys. Sorry, Arcane Wonders. I was going to say that. I started thinking maybe I was off. Arcane Wonders. The production values alone are stunning. Rulebook's great. Enough said. Let's go look. You're looking at the box art, and this captures. This isn't just like they spent extra money on the cover art. This is what these guys look like and feel like. Of course, you have your warlock here. He's got this like fire whip, and this thing is bad dungarees. Cleaning that up. All right. And here you got your guy, the Beastmaster, controls the animals. This is just the start, folks. Mage Wars. Let me show you the board. And when you move from square to square, and there's just tons of room to maneuver, fight, retreat, you know, whatever you're wanting to do. And it's got this, I think it's just got the linen finish texture on it, but I swear it feels like the bricks. Okay, that's just me. Now I know when we zoom in, I'm just in a random spot here, but there's like little bits of blood or damage to the bricks, or you'll find little swords or spears or skeletons or whatnot. Just attention to detail. Speaking of that, I'm gonna lift the lid off of this box. Now look at this. These are all your spell cards along with your, and I'll get into showing you some of these. Here's the Priestess. All right, in the base game, you're gonna have a Warlock, which you saw in the front. You're gonna have the Beastmaster. You're gonna have the Princess, and then you've got more of your standard mage or wizard that I always think of like with Tolkien's Lord of the Rings. I'm gonna slowly enter into this. You've got the heart of the system are the cards, and they're bound by these. Now this is an extra one I've got here, but it comes with 2 of these books. They're card sleeves, and they hold whatever magic things that you want to do. And this one's kind of partially used. I was in the middle of a battle and just put it back in when I was done. All right, first epic battle. good versus evil. You can just tell this Warlock's bad news. Now, I'm not going to go into deep detail. There's already been great videos on this. I'm so late to the party, but I want to try to give you the flavor, the essence. As I already said, I've never been a big mage player whenever I was doing D&D. I was always the barbarian or the fighter or the knight. But this captures how cool mages are. First, let me just walk you through. Basic scenario. Now you can trick this out any way you want. The Beastmaster could even go get some of these evil cards that the Warlock has, but he's going to be paying more for those. So if the card would have cost, some evil, bring out a ghoul that is natural for the Warlock to have, it'll only cost him 1, but it may cost him triple that because he's going against his natural tendencies. But he could do it if he wanted to. It might pull a big surprise on the other player. So you can build your deck. There is a deck building component. But I just want to cover some of the flavor of it. This Fire Whip, if it comes out and hits you, you're going to be rolling 4 of these die. Very easy to explain. Anything with this little sunburst on there is a critical hit. It's going to get through your armor. That's just a pure miss. And then you're just going to have your regular hits. Now, regular hits can be absorbed by armor. So this Beastmaster, he's got this bear hide. Not only does it protect him from frost in case there's some kind of cold energy being flung around at you, but it's got an armor rating of 2. So if the Warlock just got a 2, that armor is going to absorb it. The cloak's also going to give him a 1. So those things come into effect unless you get a critical. Then they're going to go right on through. So that's how these work. Critical hit, non-critical, your armor can protect you, and just a pure miss. But this is nasty. This also has a chance. You'll go roll this die, and the text on here will tell you that this can also burn you. It can set you on fire. And there's these little tokens that I've got off screen. Here, what the heck, look at these. You can get caught on fire. You can be rotting. You name it. There's just craziness going on in here. All right, he can come in, he's got a staff that he can also hit and do some damage on. His cloak helps protect him from fire. And his main ability is to bring creatures out. I'm going to show you, I think I've got a few of these creatures ready. Yeah, just look at these. He can bring in this little emerald tegu or whatever. Look at this. You got some kind of crazy bitterwood fox, bobcat, this little falcon, and they've got rules for flying, unless it's some kind of, it's not the melee weapon, come on, a distance weapon, bow and arrow, whatever, fireball. He can't be hit by a normal melee weapon. Unless he comes down and does a little melee with his claws, and then bam, watch out, he can get hit too. Love this, use this in a game, dissolve the weapon. Hello, you want to make that go away? Conjure up this little incantation, if I can get it to focus. Come on, baby. Conjure up this little incantation, and guess whose little fire whip just melts away in his hand? Epic, awesome. Timberwolf, powerful. You can also see, I'll show you why this card up. So again, quick strikes and regular strikes. I'll go into those a little bit later. Again, he's going to be rolling 4 of those red die. His health and his armor that comes with him naturally. And then you've got the type, he's a creature, and what it costs to bring him out. There's some mana you have to use to bring your creatures out, so it's whatever your power of your mage is and what he's saved up. And then their attack range. These cards are so well done, a little bit of flavor text, so well done that once you've got the rules down, it's intuitive. This game feels like it's a mage simulation that just everything makes sense. Everything makes sense. Look at this. He's actually got demon possessed armor. Evil dude, man. Look at this guy. Hello. And just some leather gloves. Hey, everybody's got to have gloves when you're messing with fire. I'm going to bring in this board. This board is the heart of kind of what you're able to do. Your channeling is how much energy or mana that you're going to be adding to your supply at the beginning of each turn. So, and if you're down to a lousy 6, you're just going to basically be adding mana. If you're at 0 because you used all your mana up, you're going to go to 6. However, if you were at 6 when you started, you get a +6, you're going up to 12. So you can see this is literally kind of like your fuel tank and how much you're going to be getting extra fuel as you go from turn to turn. Your mana can be, you want to bring on a really powerful creature. The Beastmaster can bring in this grizzly bear. He's awesome. But if I remember right, he's a 17. And I had to save up to get him in. So you're dancing around. Hopefully your Timberwolf's doing some damage. Maybe your Fox is making a run at the Warlock. Bam, you get the bear in, and he's there for you. You can have creatures, good, bad, evil, whatever, guard you or guard another creature. They'll literally stay in your area, and if somebody comes in, they've got to attack the creature first. Simple life here. So if I'm at 26, you've got a little marker showing where you're at, and then you actually count to it, because sometimes there's some spells that can lessen your total life down, so they're not doing damage, but it's like they're lowering your constitution, or you might be able to bump it up. Very cool aspect. So it's not just, oh, how many hits before I'm dead. You can even play around with what is your max life. Depth, depth, depth. And it's as simple as this board and a nice little player summary on there. So, and just looking at the player summary, you can see it's as simple as who's got the initiative. You're going to reset. Reset is simply these. All right, whenever he takes an action, if he does a normal action, this gets turned over, so you can tell. So if I'm resetting, I'm bringing him back all up to the sun side. And this stands for the quick cast. There's some spells that have to be done with like your full energy, or they take a while to bring off or whatever. And then there's some that are very quick. So the whip and both this staff of beasts, they can be either a quick cast or you can use a full attack on them. But then there's just channeling. Channeling is getting your stuff over into your mana, whatever your upkeep is, your fuel tank. Planning, deployment. Planning is simply pulling out the card or cards that you're going to be using out of your book, and then deploying is putting them down where they're going to go or triggering them off. So after you've done all your ready stage, you just activate a creature. So that means you're flipping over one of those deals, so it's no longer on its sun area. All right, and then you're going to either, you're going to do your first quick cast phase, which is something, again, the mages can do, but when you do your creature actions, you can move and do one of your quick little things, or you can stay in your zone, no movement at all, and just do a full action. Some of your attacks, which are way more powerful, you basically got to be standing still and be ready for. Whereas some you can move and then, swing your whip or whatever. It's all very intuitive. It's really as simple as this looks. The production value of the rule book, not only is it gorgeous, not only are the pages beautiful and everything's full color, the walkthrough is tremendous. Now there's some stuff to go through. This, for example, is a quick way you can set up one of your books. It tells you exactly what spells to get. There's so many spells. I want to say there's like 600 or 800 that it gives you some starter things. Hey, you want to be the priestess? Here's the deal. You're going to get this, this, this. Put it in the book. And then somebody else get this, 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 and you're off and playing this game. I hope you have a feel. Let me flip through a few more cards just so you see, because they're so stunning. Fast. Incantations, just tons and tons. So laying hands on and healing. Battle Fury. You might have a soldier there or a knight that you brought out. Boom, you want to give them a little bit of Battle Fury. You want to drain somebody's power. Group healing. Hello. Again, huge deck of cards. We're going to bring in, these are just some of your attacks. So these are just straightforward attacks. Lightning, Electrify. There's a Force Push in here. Fireballs. Flame blasts, they all have different geysers can come up, put out somebody who's on fire. Jet streams. Look at that, pillar of light. So you're just raining down everything you've ever seen in a movie. Hello, Bitterwood. So now I'm into some of the creatures. Ooh, love that. You got bats coming down on you. Look at this, look at that Hydra. Hello. Tell me he's with the Warlock. All right, so you're getting just the idea here. I'm going to show you one more. We'll see if we can get through some of these. Huge deck of enchantments. Agony. So someone's coming at you, all of a sudden you put them in agony. You want to put this, you can even put the bear strength on yourself. Gives you a +2 in melee. Give that to the Warlock with his little whip. Deadly, deadly combination. and just your ability to customize what you're doing is fantastic. Just fantastic. So I've explained, I was so late to the party on this, and here's why. I was never the mage. And there was usually someone, I played some D&D, there was usually a guy that really was dying to be the mage. He was totally into it. And I leaned definitely more toward a fighter. So I was good if I was a barbarian. I liked the knights. Rangers were cool if I wanted to get in some archery stuff. And hey, I can dabble a little bit in a few different things. So when I first saw Mage Wars, I was like, I was never a mage. I know they do a lot of little spell casting stuff, and it didn't really capture my attention. I will admit, I saw Tom's review, that sparked it, and then I saw it at the BGG Expo Hall, and it was talking to the Arcane Wonders guys, and I gave it a shot, and I was amazed. I'm telling you, I'm amazed. I played this with my son. It's just the imagination you're drawn right in with the cards. The gameplay functions so smoothly, so effortlessly. You know what? I'm a Beastmaster. I want to bring in a Timberwolf. Bam! I've got the mana. I do my creature incantation. Sorry, it's not an incantation. I bring him in. Bam! He's there. Now I can run him, and I can do some stuff with my mage. I want to bring in a grizzly bear just to protect me because the warlock's sending a bunch of mean creatures my way, and it just works so smoothly. I mean, I really can't imagine. This makes for a great tactical war game. The different things you're bringing into it with your incantations, your spells, the actual physical attacks you can do, the gear you're wearing, very cool to be strapping on different gear that helps you out in different ways. And if you have overlooked this, please go take a look at it. If you're a war gamer and you like tactical type war games, go take a look at this. Yes, it's all fantasy theme wrapped, but I'm telling you, I played a couple of these mages. They did not feel like, I always picture the mages as kind of the old Tolkien, the guy with the beard. No, these guys are warmongers, man. I'm telling you, go take a look at it. All right, Chief, Dice Tower. It's kind of special. See you guys. Bye.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. You can also find other great shows at Dicetowernetwork.com. I'm Eric Summerer, and you've been watching The Dice Tower. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.